Yep. Good morning, all. It's about 7:25 Wednesday morning. I'm sitting in the parking lot at the surgery center. My wife's having some shots given into her back, and while she's in there, I've been sitting there doing some thinking, which is never a good thing. I was kind of wondering how many people in this nation actually realize what kind of rights that they have just kind of willingly thrown against the wall and not getting at the moment. Out here, the police department's no longer issuing permits for any public gatherings to protest anything with the government, uh, any of that because of COVID-19. You have no right to gather, no right to go visit your family and stuff. You basically don't have the right to do much of anything anymore. Freedom of movement. They pretty much put a stop to the Second Amendment because during the COVID-19 they closed down all the gun stores and ranges and all that stuff. So, oh well, that takes care of the gun problem. They think. It's kind of strange. Usually something like this happens, people be up in arms about it. I don't see anybody saying anything. They're just going along like little sheep going, oh yes, Mr. Master, we must do this. Yes, we shall go. You want us to go there? Okay, we go. Oh, do you want us back here? Okay, we go there. All right. And I just heard on the news that there were 5 doctors from California who put out a YouTube video, a couple of them. And in there, they're asking the question, why all of a sudden, every time there's a death in a hospital, they're being pressured to put it as COVID-19. Even if it wasn't, they're being told to put it that way. Why are people wanting to make the numbers worse than they are? Now, their video had over 5 million views on YouTube. 5 million is a whole lot, people. And YouTube, in all their wisdom, has decided to pull it because it doesn't agree with the World Health Organization guidelines. Now, that should scare the hell out of anybody, that you got censorship going on like that. You're not allowed to have an opinion, I guess. I don't know. It seems just kind of peculiar, YouTube. They say they're out there, you got guidelines, yeah, no nudity, all this stuff. But now, evidently, if you go against the government opinion, you're being bounced off. Or if you start blaming the Chinese for all this, you get bounced. Frankly, I expect to get bounced anytime because as far as I'm concerned, this is all a Chinese virus. That's where it originated at. That's where it came from. They're the ones that lied about it. They didn't tell anybody about it. Now it's worldwide. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's their fault. But now China's getting tired of being accused of it, so they're threatening economic problems for all the countries that are accusing them, or threatening lawsuits against them. Threatening to withhold medicines and medical equipment that they make for all these countries. They threatened Australia with economic, stopping their tourism from China and all this other stuff. To try to put them in an economic bind because of the fact that they're talking against China over all this. Now, granted, a lot of that's probably political, but when you have a communist government that controls everything their people do, and we're all stepping toe with them and going, oh, yes, Mr. Master, we shall not do this. It offended you. We're so sorry. Needs to stop. Like I've said before in my other videos, there's enough blame to go around to everybody. No, it's not the time to get the blame. Now is the time to fix the problem. You got doctors out there talking true, doctors asking questions as to why their policies are this, that, and the other, and it gets bounced because it might make people think. That should scare the hell out of anybody, out of any decent thinking person. You hear on the news and all this that they're worried about swamping the hospitals, all this stuff. If that's the case, why are the hospitals closing down? Why are they furloughing nurses? If they're so overwhelmed, why is all that happening? Why are hospitals begging patients to come back in for their elective surgeries and to get checked out and all this other stuff for their normal checkups? Because a lot of people, like myself, will not go to a doctor right now. Unless I absolutely friggin' well have to. Damn it takes an act of God. Or my wife getting mad. But the point of this whole video, people, is we all need to start looking around us. I've made fun of their regulations on this mask thing due to the fact that out here in California, all adults must wear a mask unless you're age 12 or under. I mean, I've made fun of the fact that once the virus run up to somebody say, "Oh, you're under 12, get away from me. I can't get you. I have to go get somebody else." Last time I looked, flu and cold viruses get everybody. When this thing first started, if you recall, people said the young and the elderly were most vulnerable to it. So you got people putting, like Kubo, Governor Kubo or whatever his name is over there in New York, that thinks he controls the world. He says, send all COVID-19 patients to nursing homes. Well, let's see. Let's understand this. Nursing homes have a lot of elderly people in them. So you're going to put COVID-19 patients that have the infection into a nursing home so they can infect more people. Does that make any sense to anybody? Doesn't to me. But what do I know? I'm just a dumbass redneck. These governors all seem to think they have the power of God, that they can do whatever they want and nobody's supposed to say anything. And I hate to say it because I'm always beating up on the Democrats, but it seems like most of the governors that are having the biggest power trip are the ones run by Democratic governors. I don't know. I'm not saying the Republicans are the greatest or anything like that. They all have faults. But we got to get our head out of our ass and get over this shit. You got to at least open up the country, let people get back to work, or there's going to be big problems on everybody's hands. Well, that's my rant for today, or at least this morning's one. I don't usually give a morning rant, but I'm doing it this time. So, it's the old redneck. You got a comment, leave it below. You want to bitch me out, send me an email to redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. Got a topic you want my opinion on, do the same thing. Send me an email, redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. I'll answer it. I'd like everybody to remember all our military people serving overseas. They stand a wall so that we can do what we need to do out here. Remember our vets coming home and the ones that are here. Give them a hand up, not a handout. For God's sakes, people, remember your humanity. Remember our first responders. And pray for all the farmers that are having to kill their crops or kill their livestock because there's no place to process them. Let's hope those processing plants come back on before we end up with a real food shortage and see bread lines and food riots. That's the old redneck. Wishing y'all a good day. Stay safe. We'll talk later. Bye.